originally was born in former Yugoslavia, and in 1967 we immigrated to the United States. And I remember entering the United States through New York, and we flew from Italy, from Rome, to New York, and then from New York we came straight to here in Los Angeles, and we've been here ever since 1967. And as I got older, I was working in the automotive business for many years, and I started the shop here in 1984, in July of 1984, and now next year is going to be 40 years that we've been here in Newport Beach. And I work with my sons, Robert and Marcus, and it's been great. For a long time we've been here, so this is the story in short and quick.
Every year, pretty much in the summers, my brother Marcus and I would come here to the shop, put in a few days during the week between beach days, and I can even remember we would take naps here in the back room when we were much younger, obviously, but then growing older, our dad would teach us not only how to repair cars and service cars, but just good work ethics around the shop, cleaning up, keeping things clean. When you use a tool, to wipe it off and put it back in the box. So yeah, just really good memories, and they really haven't ended. It's just a continuation to this day. Naturally, being around cars every day pretty much, I think it's inevitable you're going to have a passion and love for the cars. And I think because we worked on predominantly German cars, you know, that was our love mostly, obviously, but classic cars, for one thing, is just something about them. They're really timeless. In many ways more enjoyable to drive than even modern cars. So yeah, it was a natural evolution for us just to be around cars and into cars.
Yeah, like my brother Robert was saying, we grew up here at the shop. Obviously him being a little bit older, he was always leading the way as far as getting to work on cars before I did. And I obviously wanted to start getting into that right away. But it took a little bit of time, but now that we've been here for so many years, we do trade off and work on each other's strengths and weaknesses to make sure that we cover every facet of the vehicles that come into the shop. So, love for cars started early. I remember seeing all these pictures and paintings of Porsche, and obviously seeing the cars here when back then they were a lot newer. Now they're basically classic cars, or are true classics, and the love grew from there, especially for me for Porsche. The 356, the 911, and the 914. I had sort of always wanted one, and it sort of came about naturally when I found it.
It's just the three of us, and we enjoy very much working together. And so we work on mostly, like I say, mostly German cars: Porsche, Volkswagen, Audi, Mercedes. And we do a lot of classic cars. That's something that we're getting into now more than ever, because in the past I used to work on a lot of them. It's just something that we worked on back in the day, but now they're all coming back, and we're starting to work on a lot of classic cars, because there's very few people that they used to work on the cars, and many of them are gone. The shops they used to work on these older cars are gone.
Our day-to-day here at the shop, or my day-to-day, is just obviously maintenance, repairs, but just so many things behind the scenes to keep the business running. It being just us three, there's a lot of logistics just to keep things going naturally, and it's just a good time. I think we have fun pretty much every day here at the shop. You know, with the highs and the lows, it's always good, no matter what.
One of the two technicians, essentially Robert and I, share that position. Again, trading back and forth. Whenever we need something that the other is more comfortable with, we'll play off each other's strengths. But yeah, as technicians, servicing and repairing anything that needs to be taken care of on modern and vintage cars.
A lot of these cars that we ended up purchasing, we've known and serviced these cars for many years. And the two cars that we have featured that are going to be put on the auction, the 300 CD is 1984 300 CD Mercedes. It's one of the most beautiful and excellent condition. It's amazing condition. And I enjoy the 123 chassis, especially the diesel. We have one that we had for many years. It's a European 1984 300D. We have nearly 500,000 miles on that car. And this one's got obviously a lot less. I believe it's 100 and something thousand miles. So I enjoy working on these cars, knowing that they're very durable and strong and reliable. And especially this car is in excellent condition. And so we purchased this one, and then we have the 1995 BMW. Also, I purchased from one of my customers. They've been with us, I believe, over 20 years. And it's a beautiful 1995 318 IS, I believe it is. And I've serviced this car again for many years, and she enjoyed driving this car, and she took very good care of the car. So I asked her if she was ever to sell the car, I would be interested in purchasing the cars. So that's what we did. She's an older lady, and she was no longer able to drive, so she offered it back to us if we would be willing to purchase it, and that's what we did.
The yellow 79 450 SL, it was a customer's car. The story was that it was his mother's car, and they were leaving the state, so they didn't really want to deal with having to, sell the car themselves. So we saw it was such a beautiful car in good condition, and obviously we drive so many SLs on a weekly basis. This one really felt super solid. Suspension felt really good, and just overall felt like a really tight car. Bought the car and have done very little to actually. Didn't need a whole lot, just some regular maintenance stuff that these 107 chassis require in the fuel injection department, also some basic steering components. But overall, even cosmetically, didn't need a whole lot in terms of that. It's very natural. It's a solid car as is, and a beautiful car to drive. Just the times I've driven it, it's just a joy to drive. It gets tons of good looks.
Yeah, so I found this car on Craigslist quite a few years ago. I think it was 7 or 8 years ago when I found it. It was in pretty poor condition, had been neglected, and I figured I'd go ahead and buy it and see if I can bring it back to life. And it's been a slow process, but I really like the way it turned out. It's in its original color, but it was obviously repainted in sunflower yellow, which is the Porsche color for 74. It's still a 1.8. The engine was rebuilt, but in the same displacement. Nothing's been changed or upgraded in that department. It is not numbers matching, but it is a correct 914 engine, so it's not a replacement from a Type 4 bus or anything like that. So that was something that I wanted to make sure that it was a real Porsche engine.
We purchased and also brought it up. We did a lot of additional things to it to bring it up to par. We replaced motor mounts, we did some detailing and a little bit of paint, not much. And most of it's all original, so and we like to keep it that way. And especially inside, it's like brand new. You can see in the photos, and also the 300 CD. You can look at the photos inside. It's in incredible condition. So I hope that you enjoy looking at these cars, and hopefully, if you're interested in purchasing, that it would be a great car to buy. Also for long term, if you also enjoy the 123 body in the 300 turbo diesel, and also the 1995 BMW. On the 123 body, the 300 CD, if you notice the pictures that are taken underneath, it's so incredibly clean and new, and there's absolutely no rust. It's been in Orange County, I believe, a Newport Beach car since it was bought brand new. And it's the condition. I've seen many cars come through our shop over the years, and I've never seen a car that it's got even 100,000 plus miles or less without any oil leaks. And this is bone dry. I mean, it's incredible to see it dry and clean as this car is. It's very, very rare, and that's one of the reasons we enjoyed it and we purchased it, because of the condition of the car itself. It is super, super clean, and obvious places, like if you look on the side of the engine block or underneath by the pan or in the front, you would notice that there would be oil leaks generally on diesels. But on this one, it's extremely dry and very clean, and it runs like brand new. It's incredible. It's a great beautiful running car. And we also fixed the air conditioning to make sure everything works, and the air conditioning is working well. Everything else has been working like new from the very beginning. So,
as well as in the right front fender, there was a pretty nasty rust patch, so I was able to source a good used fender, a complete fender, and that was cut and welded in place by the same body shop, and they did a phenomenal job. It's completely seamless, and then after it was sanded down and resprayed in the original color again, so it blended in really well. I'm glad with how it turned out. So other than that, some of the other main repairs was the fuel system. It does have carburetors. The original fuel injection is no longer in place. So in order to make sure that it was getting good clean fuel, I did have to replace the entire fuel tank. So I found a good aftermarket replacement. The entire tank was changed, as well as the filter and pump system. That's completely new, so you're getting good clean fuel back into the carburetors. Other than that, tires were replaced and a few suspension components that were needed some attention. The complete interior and dashboard has been replaced. And lastly, the seats were completely reupholstered. So as far as faults with the car, the heater system is not in place, although the controls and levers are all there. The heater boxes and blower motor are not in place. Being a Southern California car, I never had use for it, but the future owner would want to have that reinstated. He'd have to look into getting that replaced.
Yeah, we've done obviously some basic service items, fuel pressure accumulator, all new injectors, spark plug wires, spark plugs, just common things that go around with an older Mercedes. And then in the suspension, we did all new tie rods, drag link, steering stabilizer. It's got brand new tires. So everything to bring it up to being just a really nice, good driver's car. There are some blemishes. Sun visor has a tear. The car does have dings, but nothing out of the ordinary for this condition of car, being completely unrestored. But most of these 107s came in some interesting colors in the 70s especially, and not so much in the 80s, but you don't really see too many of them around, mostly silvers or blues or whites. But especially it being a yellow car, it just really has nice pop to color. And the interior is really immaculate, especially the dash. I mean, these 107s, 90% of them have cracked dashes. This one has not one crack on it, so it's really nice. And I believe it to be all original. Even the exterior paint is original too, which is really cool.